Hi, everybody. Look, I got glasses. It's Groovy Cool Chick Spiritual Gangsta Georgia. No, it's actually Georgia Rose in the Soul Space. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I am here every Monday at 7 p.m. on Strong Island in Paradise Studios in beautiful Massapequa, New York. And I'm so glad that you joined me in the Soul Studio. I am actually in such a good mood because I've taken the week, a few days anyway, off my regular job. But, I'm always working anyway because you answer phone calls and you have to have meetings and things like that. But for the most part, I'm a little bit on hiatus with my earthbound job. And so I got to write all day today and worked on my book. And it was so unbelievably satisfying and wonderful. I'm just in such a happy, happy, happy mood that I got to write all day. So thank you all for joining me. I am going to share the show, and I would love it if you guys would also share me on all of your Facebook pages. And if you want to Instagram me, you can do that too. So we're going to talk about a little astrology today. I had a blissful weekend. The energy I feel like it's kind of slowed down a little bit. I don't know how you guys feel, but I feel like it's kind of slowed down a little bit. And that gave me a chance this weekend also to kind of hibernate. And I was able to be in the space of writing and doing some creative things. So it's really cool. So we've had a lot of transits this week. So who have I got on? Anybody on yet? I've got Janine on and Christine Camarada. Hi, Christine. Haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. So glad to see you here. My hair looks like it needs combing, but I know you guys love me anyway. So I felt like the energy really slowed down, and I think that's because the sun went into Virgo. And Virgo is an earth sign. So when the sun is in Virgo, we get the ability to be able to ground, and we have an opportunity to really dig into things and have a little bit more resourcefulness and hard work. Actually, Virgo is a sign of hard work, of focus. So hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more of that. And when the sun is in Virgo, it also gives us a little bit of grounding, but in a way to do projects and to be able to see things what they really are. We see a little bit more truth when things are in Virgo. We actually are able to separate what's worthy, what we need, from the things that we really don't want in our lives. So Virgo is a really great sign for us to maybe do some cleaning out. I always laugh because I always say, I know when the moon is in Virgo because I usually have this weird compulsion to clean out drawers and closets. So then whenever I get that, I'll look at the ephemeris and I'll see that, the moon's in Virgo. No wonder I was on a cleaning spree. So that's what happens to me in Virgo. Hey, Deneen, how are you doing? So we're going to get to cards and astrology today. If you want to call into the show, you can do that. Bobby, my producer, will put the number up on the screen so that you can get a reading if that's what you feel like doing. But first, I want to talk a little bit more about the astrology because we do have some things coming in, including with the week ends with new moon in Virgo. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that. We have a lot of Virgo energy. So Sun's in Virgo now. Now, remember we said August was going to be a lot of push-pull energy, 2 steps forwards, 1 step backs. Well, now we have Mars going into Gemini. And so when Mars is in Gemini, everything comes in twos. Uno, dos, people. Everything comes in twos. So it'll be, you have to go to the grocery store for something, and then you come home and you forget something and you have to go back. Or maybe you are supposed to meet someone, but the meeting gets canceled and you have to do it again. That's Gemini that's Mars in Gemini. And Mars in Gemini actually lasts for a really long time this time. Usually Mars is in a sign for maybe 6 to 8 weeks. This time, because of retrogrades, Mars stays in Gemini until next March. So look in your charts and see where Gemini is. For me, that's in my house of relationships. So I know that is going to heat up when Mars is in Gemini. Mars in Gemini is duality. It's the twins. So it's, 2 of everything. It's restarts. Mars in Gemini Gemini is an air sign. So that's going to be very much our mental capacity. We're going to dream big. We're going to have some really great ideas. It can be a little chaotic in Gemini because Gemini is air. So Mars is our get up and go. We're going to see a lot of wheels turning, a lot of ideas. We're going to want to plan and do a lot of things. But with Mars in Gemini, the wheels don't always meet the road. So we have a lot of mental things going on and a lot of, unknown resolutions right now. Some of those resolutions will happen in September when Mercury actually goes retrograde around the 9th of September. And when that happens, we've got about 10 planets in retrograde. Right now, we've actually got, I had to write this down because I couldn't remember it all. As far as we've got Saturn, Vesta, Jupiter, Chiron, Uranus, Pluto, Juno, and Neptune all retrograde. And this week, Uranus actually stations to go retrograde. And in another few days, Mercury is going to go retrograde. So we've got a lot of backwards energy on the planet. Now, what does retrogrades really mean? Well, first of all, when a planet is retrograde, it has more power. Whatever its archetype or energy is, it's more powerful when it's retrograding because it's closer to Earth. But when a planet is retrograding, it actually goes over the same spot, usually 3 times. So think of it as like a Goldilocks effect. It's like, oh, this one's too big, this one's too small, and this one's just right. That's what happens during retrogrades. The universe gives us an opportunity to actually redo things, recharge, reset, revisit. So you will have ghosts coming back from the past, especially when Mercury goes into the mix with the retrograde. But Mars retrograde, especially for someone like me who has it in their 7th house of relationships, means a lot of ghosts, a lot of X's and O's are going to be coming back in from now until March. I wonder how that will play out. How could that play out? I don't know. I will just let the universe flow that my way, and hopefully it will be good. So if anyone has a magic wand out there to bless my 7th house, I would really appreciate that right now. So Mars in Gemini is going to happen, already came in Saturday, and it'll be there until March 25th. It's distraction also. You're going to hear a lot of information coming in because Gemini is the sign of information in the media. You know, we have a lot of things playing out right now politically. We have elections coming up in November. We've got the thing with Mar-a-Lago going on. We've got inflations and budgets and financials. So you're going to hear a lot of information about that. And you're going to hear a lot of fresh ideas about that. But whether or not they're ideas that are going to make sense or that we're going to believe are so, are they truthful, are they illusion, that's still going to be a little hazy with all these planets in retrograde. What's the best use of this long, drawn-out Mars in Gemini, especially when it goes retrograde? Well, the best use of the energy, guys, is adaptability. Whenever a planet goes retrograde, especially a planet like Mars or Mercury, it means we're going to have do-overs. So we have a beautiful opportunity here to flex our adaptability muscles, to allow things to flow around us, to use the open curiosity of Gemini. It's a very curious sign. For those of you who know a Gemini or are a Gemini, you have an unbelievable amount of curiosity in your minds and in your life. And what that does is it allows you to know a little bit about a lot, a great many things. And I always say, if I can choose the seating at a cocktail or a dinner party, I love to sit next to a Gemini because they're great conversationalists, they're great communicators, they flit around like a butterfly, they know where all the shiny objects are in the room, they want to taste them and smell them and talk about them. They're easily distracted, but they are never boring. So that's what I love about Gemini. So it gives us the opportunity to really remain curious and open so that we can adapt to the changes that come. And there'll be some really big changes coming in with the rest of the zodiac that we have right now. But remember, we've got a lot of back and forth from August. We're going into September, and Uranus is also on Tuesday going to station to go retrograde. And when Uranus goes retrograde, that is a very conflicting energy. It's an energy that's going to light up our lives, continuing the stories that have been actually ignited since November of 2019, these round robins that we've been in for the last couple of years with COVID and certain divisions in the country and the way that those have played out in the microcosm that is your life. So we're not going to be hearing a lot of new stories come in. We're going to hear the same stories rearing their ugly head for change. The 3 main components of this energy now, with Uranus going retrograde and stationing there, especially Tuesday, with Mars having a very long trip through Gemini, the stories are going to be lightening awareness, because Uranus is that lightning bolt that lights up the room so we can see where everything is. And when it's retrograde, it does that with things sometimes from our past or with lessons that we haven't quite learned yet. And that's why the stories that we've been round robining in, culminating in, terminating in, whatever it is, they're still ongoing. We're trying to terminate them, we can't. We're ruminating about them, etc. Those are the stories that we're going to have new awareness in, but it'll be the same story. Freedom versus control, which we've been living in since 2019. And of course, the what is true? What is the illusion? What should I believe? So what's the best use of this energy? Well, use those three components to ask yourself, what needs to change? I'm in another round of the same energy. It's more of the same. What's the universe really trying to show me? What's the lesson my soul is really trying to learn? That's where the answers are for you. And I notice a lot of light workers right now going into places where they are quiet. Like this weekend, I totally zoned out and closed my front door and really took a break from media, etc. And I feel like a lot of light workers are doing that more and more. A lot of our healers, a lot of our psychics, a lot of people in this spiritual world, because the energy coming in is very overwhelming. And that's going to get a little heightened with Mars and Gemini because all this information is going to be coming in. So we'll have a very rapid fire of information between now and the end of the year. Friday, the 26th, Venus, Mars, the Sun, and Uranus are all going to start to play a role in the new moon that comes in on the 27th, which is Saturday. And there's a lot of squares going on. Squares are energies of conflict. So when this new moon comes in, all I can say is thank God it's in Virgo, because we need that grounding. We really need that grounding. A lot of energy that can be angry, can be conflicting. The best energy to use in this is the Venus-Saturn opposition, which is there to give us a limitation and teach us. Because one of the phenomenons that's going to come in towards the end of this week and into Saturday, Sunday, is there's going to be a lot of distraction and a lot of disruption, but we kind of like it. It's really weird and naughty. Like, it's almost like, when you have a crush on the bad boy and you shouldn't, but you just love it so much. It feels so good. That's the energy coming in now. And it could play out that way, but it's also, hearing rumors and we really don't want to believe them, but tell me more. It's that kind of energy. And it comes through in a very rapid fire way over Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So the best use of the energy is allow yourself to flow in a little bit of excitement, get your mojo going, but ground in that beautiful Virgo energy to know what's real, not go too far, because this is really an energy this week where you could wake up the next morning and realize you went too far. You said something you shouldn't, you were a little bit overindulgent with something, or you overindulged someone else. And there's new disruptions to the same old stories. So really prepare your words, prepare your actions, prepare what you want to do ahead of time, because this is an energy where you can get caught up in that wave of, I like it so bad, and it's really kind of freaky, but it's meant to bring us to a threshold of intolerance so that we change something, that we realize a bad behavior, we realize the pattern that never really gets us anywhere, but we're stuck in. And that's what it is. It's almost like, Eve and the apple, I don't really want to bite into this, but, I'm just going to do it. No, don't. So the disruptive energy plays out as being attracted to things that we really shouldn't be attracted to. We know we shouldn't be attracted to, but we just are. So if you really have to be indulgent, eat a Hershey bar. Don't make a big mistake. The new moon coming in at Virgo is at 4 degrees, so check your chart, see what house Virgo affects and what you have at 4 degrees. Now, we have all these planets lining up to square this moon in Virgo, and it can be very conflicting energy. But if the new moon is happening in your chart in Virgo and you have a Virgo moon or a Virgo sun, this is an amazing opportunity for a fresh start at a project or to be creative with something, depending on what house it's in. Virgo energy, don't forget, is that hardworking, tenacious, staying till the last moment to get the job done energy. So with the moon being new in that, you can set an intention to help you really complete a project that you've been long doing. Great energy for that. This is also an energy where things in Virgo have a purpose. So whatever that house is in for you. Like, for instance, it's in my 9th house, which is higher learning, travel, distance travel, foreign things. So I know that in this energy with a new Virgo moon, I'm going to set an intention for my ninth house to be able to work more on my spiritual journey and some higher learning that I want to do. So you see how I fit the new moon in Virgo into that part of my chart. So wherever this new moon is occurring for you, in whatever house and part of your chart, you want to set an intention so that you are able to expand that energy over the next moon cycle, beginning with the new moon and culminating with the full moon, which I think is on September 10th. So we have this beautiful new moon coming in, and I say beautiful because anytime the new moon comes in, it's a beautiful opportunity to set those intentions. While the moon gets shining brighter and brighter through the course of her cycle, that intention gets more light put on it. So definitely set your intentions, before that moon comes in. I would do it maybe Friday evening before the new moon comes in very early in the morning on Saturday. The moon is also opposite Saturn in Aquarius, which gives us a logical and a very diplomatic and optimism in this energy, which is really great if you are setting the intention for a project or for a relationship. We get to be really, optimistic about it. We may see that we take things a little too far right before and around that time of the full moon. Like Friday night is a night when, things can be super overindulgent. You can be really attracted to the temptation. So try and ground in that new moon that's coming in. And then as we finish out the month, August 30th is also a really big day. That's a day when a lot of people are going to make mountains out of molehills. There's an energy coming in that's very amplified, so don't be surprised if you hear some things on the news that are, insignificant, but they're going to make them really, really significant. And then, of course, Mercury goes into retrograde. And when Mercury goes into retrograde, that is a time when we get to revisit many things. Things will repeat on us. With Mars being in Uranus in retrograde at the same time, if you have any travel or anything that you have to do, an event or something that takes a lot of precision, really check, and make sure everything is in alignment, because in that energy, the universe will give us an opportunity to learn from a mistake, so you don't want to make the mistake. And then what I was going to also say is that when Uranus goes retrograde, which I believe is Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, and it stays there until January, during that time, we're going to be working with the energies that came in this beginning of May, like around May 5th, May 6th, because the points where Uranus is going to hit when it's retrograde over the next several months is where those energy of Uranus began. So when you look back in your diaries, in your, even your text or your emails, whatever way, your Facebook page, look back and see what was going on around that first week of May, those first 7 days of May, give or take a day or two. That's the energy that's going to be revisited for you with lightning awareness, sudden expectation when Uranus is going retrograde, which it does on Tuesday. So that is my energy report. If you have any questions about it, put them in the comments. I'm going to go to cards. Let's see who is on the show. Don't I look smart when I wear these? I love them. I look so smart, nerdy, like I'm like the astrology professor. It's so cool. Okay. So, hey, everybody. I got a couple people on here. I got Janine and Christine and Deneen. Oh, my gosh. It all rhymes. And Anne, and I'm getting a call. Carrie Ann, Barbara. Hi, you're on the Soul Space. Hold on. See, I'm rushing everything because it's like Mars is in Gemini. A lot of air. Hi, you're on the Soul Space. This is Georgia Rose. How are you doing tonight?
Hi, how are you?
I am good. So do you have a question?
My name is Lori. I was just wondering if you send any love in the cards for me.
I am going to pull cards for you, Lori. And it's so funny because you know how when you talk to people on the phone, you can see them in your mind's eye? I actually feel like I can see you. So I am going to pick some cards for love for Miss Lori. So Lori, why am I seeing the number 6? I don't know if that's 6th month or somebody has a birthday around the 6th month or the 6th day or maybe an anniversary. There's something significant with the number 6 for you?
My mom's birthday was in June.
Okay. Is she here or on the other side?
No, she's on the other side.
So maybe she's coming and maybe she's planning on bringing you someone. That would be really cool.
I hope so.
Yeah. This is actually, even though there's a lot of disruption energy on the planet right now, this is really a good time to start relationships, because we're all in a place where we are expanding our heart energy. We're coming off that beautiful Leo sun, going into Virgo and grounding. So our heart energy is getting really expanded. And also what I'm going to say to you is the summer's not over. So make sure you're going out, accept every single invitation you can get, because I feel like if someone's coming in, it's like a random meetup. It's not like an online dating or someone that you meet, through social media or something like that. I feel like it's like kind of like a friend of a friend. You're just out in a group and you meet someone new.
Okay.
So definitely.
So I don't know this person yet.
No, I'm feeling like you don't know this person yet. I do feel like there is someone around you that you might be hoping for something with. I feel like there's someone in your energy field now, but I don't feel like I feel like they're either not interested. I don't feel like they're the one that's going to come forward for you. I feel like there's someone else who comes forward. I'm going to go to the cards. The person that you have around you, is there someone around you that you're interested in? Because I'm getting that.
Yes.
Okay. I feel like he fits a pattern for you, and that's why you're attracted. But I feel like the person that's coming in is someone that's a very fresh energy for you.
Okay.
Does the name Steve, Steven, Stephanie resonate at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
Think about it after you leave, or just be aware of that in your energy, because I feel like that could be meaningful in this connection of the new person. So it could be that someone named Stephanie is in his energy field and introduces you, or his name could be Steve or Steven or Steph or something like that, or even a last name. But I feel like I'm getting that very strongly, like that name. Now, I don't like to tell people names in that framework, because then if somebody named Joe Schmo comes in, you're going to be like, oh, he's not the one.
Right.
But just make an awareness of it. It's definitely some kind of a connection coming through.
Okay, that's good.
And along with the number 6, I'm seeing the number 18.
Okay.
So take that with you. I don't know if that's significant for you now.
No.
So I feel like it could be something in the future, because I'm getting a lot of future energy around you. I feel like a lot of your thoughts lately are very much forward. Like you're not thinking as much about past. You're thinking forward a lot, dreaming of forward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and that's why I'm getting things that may not resonate with you now, because I feel like these things are all going to come into your synchronicity.
Good.
Yeah, because I'm definitely getting like 8, 18, that number 8, which for me is an infinity symbol, which means all things are possible. So, Lori, I want to tell you that I feel like right now, especially since you're going into a lot of future energy, you're looking to change things up. You're looking for fresh things in your life. I feel like you have the ability to really, really manifest things. So especially with this new moon coming in on Saturday, try and set some intentions with that beautiful Virgo earth energy to solidify what you're hoping and wishing and dreaming for. Because I feel like you have the opportunity to really make it happen. That being said, whoever this person is in your energy field that you're kind of like wishing for or wishing to be with, I feel like that's backwards for you. I feel like that's going into a pattern that you've done before, and the universe doesn't want you to do that. So that's just what I'm feeling. That's
unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
I know, and especially like I just said, this week is that energy of like, I know I shouldn't, but I'm really attracted.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's what we're going to be feeling this week. And what I always say to people is this: you don't have to go there to actually feel it. Like you can just be around that person and maybe flirt a little or have a flirtation. It doesn't mean you have to go full blown into like a big deal with them, and what I always say in this kind of thing, because, what I'm seeing is the energy now, we could hang up and the energy could change. But what I always say in a situation like this, when I'm seeing it's really doesn't look like great energy for you, give it time, let it flow. You're going to know. But always rely on your intuition. Always that your intuition knows. And I always say, if something is not coming to you, there's a reason. I feel like with
Right.
this particular person, there's things you don't know. I feel like there's things that you
Right.
don't know, and that when they are revealed, you're going to feel very differently.
Mm.
I do feel like
I don't know.
you.
I always, yeah, I felt just drawn to him, and I don't know why. I don't know. I just thought
So,
he would
so
be a good match.
So sometimes when we're drawn to someone, and it could be this, it could not be this, but sometimes, this is for everybody out there, sometimes when we're really
Mm-hmm.
drawn to someone, I can look at a chart, and if I have the two charts of the people together, and they'll have this
Mm-hmm.
relationship that's not a great relationship, but they're so attracted and so drawn to each other, like magnets, And a lot of
Yeah.
times what it is it's Plutonian. So Pluto comes into our lives to draw us to things that are going to be really painful sometimes and really like deeply, like it's almost like some people say, oh, he's my twin flame. But, we were breaking up all the time. Well, if he was your twin flame, you wouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
breaking up. So,
Mm-hmm.
so people go through these situations, and I can look at the chart, and oftentimes it's Plutonian because what Pluto does, it's the energy of transformation. And if Pluto
Mm-hmm.
gives us something gently, we have a tendency not to look at it. So Pluto comes in and gives us some really harsh lessons sometimes so that we have to look at something in order to transform it. So Pluto is the
Right.
planet that is like something has to die in order to be transformed and built new. It's like the phoenix rising
Mm-hmm.
from the ashes. So sometimes when we have a Pluto transit in our chart, we'll be really drawn to a certain person, or there'll be Pluto aspects between us and that certain person because they're going to be a
Mm-hmm.
very karmic teacher for us. We're not inevitably going to end up with them. The relationship will probably be torturous, but very, very, very dramatic and very almost like deeply somehow, dramatic enough that we just want to keep doing it. It's like watching a scary movie and we can't look away. We're just so drawn. We've all had those relationships. So sometimes that could be the attraction we feel. So go really slow because it could also be a beautiful relationship, but there's no reason for it to happen quickly because the energy that I'm feeling is there's more to be revealed for you. I feel like on the whole, you're a very balanced person, but right now you're really
Mm-hmm.
seeking something. You're looking for something. There's something missing for you that you really are looking for the solution for. That solution is
Mm-hmm.
within you. And I feel like you mentally know that. You've been working hard on it, but you're not totally there yet. The material and the spiritual are not totally balanced yet.
Right.
So I feel
But with
like,
that person, I don't think he's ready.
yeah, and that's what I'm
That's
feeling, the
going
energy.
around
And
me.
and to be
Yeah.
honest with you, when I go into the energy of both of you, I do feel like
Mm-hmm.
from a vibratory sense, your energy vibes much higher than he. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
there's things about him that, again, once you see, you are going to feel differently because I think you're more committed to a path of expansion for yourself and really getting what you want and what you truly desire and deserve more so than
Right.
settling. I feel like you're so not in the energy of settling now.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, and I feel like that person may be someone that you kind of have the rose-colored glasses on, but you would be settling.
Ay.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, there's
Okay.
someone coming in
Yeah.
who's much better match for you.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Okay.
keep that
I'll
keep
my
that
eyes
dream
open.
and faith. And what before you go, I just want to say two things. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
that feeling you have about this person, try and have that feeling and let it resonate and wash over you, in the morning when you wake up, at night when you go to sleep. But take that person out of the equation so he's not the object of it. And the feelings that you
Okay.
have now, let those expand into the manifestation of whoever it's supposed to be without being anchored into the object of a person.
Okay.
Because then the universe will bring you that. When we fixate on the object of the emotion, we're showing the universe we don't want anything else. And I believe there's
But
more
that
than just,
person, right?
yeah, and I believe there's more than just that opportunity coming for you.
Okay.
So remain open to that. And the second thing I
I
wanted to
will.
just say very quickly to you is mom is coming in. I have a message from mom, deeply loving, roses all around her. I'm seeing her almost like arms outstretched. Do you have children?
Yes, I do. 3.
Yeah, I was going to say I'm seeing three. She's like embracing you and your children.
Aw.
So she's there sending love, and I really would not think it a stretch that mom is like orchestrating someone to come into your life.
I believe that because I've been talking to her lately.
There
So
you go. So
I
that's what
believe
it is. So don't shortchange yourself with one basket. You've got a lot to choose from. He's
That's good
coming.
to know. I'm waiting.
All right,
Thank you
honey.
so
Good luck
much,
to you.
Georgia.
Thanks for calling
Thank
in.
you.
Let us know how things
No,
turn
bye-bye.
out.
I will. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So yeah, sometimes when we fixate on something, I always say no matter what age we are, guys and girls do silly things for guys and girls. So when we fixate on an energy and we just really want that person to come into our life, sometimes we block other people from coming into our life. So like I say, I've said it on the show before, don't pray for Tom, Dick, or Harry. Just pray for Spirit, bring me the beautiful love that I desire in my life and the companionship that I truly want. And you'll get it. You can't pray for the person. Pray for the thing, the emotion, the fulfillment. All right. So just looking at the comments to see if anybody has any questions. Good evening, Ann. How are you? Everyone welcome Barbara, a newcomer to the show, in the comments. Please welcome her. Yeah, Elaine says her son is a Gemini social butterfly. Absolutely. I love sitting next to Geminis at parties because you'll never be bored. It's like you want to almost walk into a party and say, "Who's a Gemini?" Because I'm buying you a drink. Yeah, the bad boy crush. It's our undoing. And I always say, no matter how old us girls get, we always do that. It's like we do silly things for boys and whatever. Nowadays it could be any sex. We do silly things for partners, right? For people we want to be partnership with. Yeah, we all fall into the same pattern because we're attracted to a thing. And what I've only recently learned at this late autumn of my life is that when I stack all the men, all the friendships even with either sex in my life, they all had some quality that was parental. Either they were my mom or my dad. Everybody, like they always say, we fall in love with our parent. Well, I certainly, when I look back on my life, have done that. And not always to my detriment. Sometimes it's been really great. But we really do that. And what I'm going to say about that is, and look for the parallels, because when you do, it'll start your healing of that pattern. We grow up, right? We're born, right? We're infants, and we have authority. We're not our authority. There's someone in our life who becomes our authority. Maybe it's a mother or a dad, or maybe it's an older sister or brother or a caretaker, or maybe we're born without a family of origin and we have to be in an institutional setting. There's always something that becomes our authority before we learn to be sovereign over ourselves and be an authority. So whoever the person is that we relate to and is the authority in our life, in our infancy, becomes the way that we seek out authority. And so that's what we do a lot of times in partnership. Now, we don't consciously say we want to have someone who's our authority, but that's what we do in partnership. We look for someone to kind of gauge us and ground us and be our barometer of what our worth is. And until we unpack that pattern, we're stuck in it. And then once we start unpacking that pattern by really looking and saying, okay, let me go back to infancy and what were the patterns in my life, who is my caretaker, et cetera, and what was their pattern with me, and how have I emulated that throughout adulthood. Until we break the chain, we really don't see what's going to give us fulfillment. So that's how you break that kind of pattern. And we're seeing a lot of those kind of patterns now in our lives because of the energy that's coming in. And especially now, we've got like 10 planets in retrograde. So things keep repeating. And it's not to be harsh with us. It's actually a beautiful, gentle thing for the world to keep giving us these retrogrades and repetition, because what it does is it gives us the opportunity for the redos and the resets and go back to the blackboard of our life. And what's written on the blackboard of our heart, can we erase it and put something new there to expand us out and bring into our heart space that which we really want to receive? I hope someone recorded that, because that was really damn good. So I can repeat anything. Thank God for the tape. So I have a very open ange. So it's like, I don't remember. I don't have a lot of recall. So anyway, This is how I'm going to be until next March because Mars is in Gemini and I get woo-woo like that. So welcome, Barbara. Thank you. Everybody send up some hearts for Barbara that she's now in our beautiful soul space. We're here every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And if you miss the show, you can just listen to me on Audible while you're driving in the car or wherever. You don't have to watch me. You can also ask your Amazon Alexa, if you have Amazon Alexa, hey, Alexa, play Soul Space by Georgia Rose, and she'll play me on your Alexa. You can watch me on channel 115 after this broadcast at 8 p.m. We're going to be switching that time to Saturday. I got to check with Bobby about that. And you can watch me on every podcast platform, Spotify, Instagram's podcast platform, Roku, you can even watch me on. We're everywhere. We're just everywhere. Because at Paradise Studios, we really give you the best exposure you can possibly have. So if you ever want to do a podcast, come see Bobby at Paradise Studios at Strong Island Television, because he is like the best that you're ever going to see in your life to put you in a podcast. Okay. You're welcome, Bob. I'll get my $5 later. So I'm going to go to cards and pick a card for everyone. I'm going to start with Barbara because she's our newbie. So where did you go? So Barbara Dubendorfer Vella, you are going to get a reading and some cards tonight. So Barbara, if I have to go into your energy really quickly, the first thing that I felt was father energy around you. I'm wondering if you have Virgo in your 4th house, because I really feel that strongly for you. Be funny to do your chart. So I'm going to pull a few cards for Barbara and we'll see where we are. If you have any questions that you want me to answer, Barbara, put them in the comments and I'll see if we can do that. Yep. And Paradise and Bobby Rock. We should call you Bobby Rock, but instead we call him L.A. So, and he's cute too, ladies. If any of you are single out there and would really like a hardworking, really cool dude who goes to church on Sunday, call the studio. He's cute. Oh, Barbara is a Virgo, 9/12. See, I knew there was Virgo energy in her chart. I could feel it. Once in a while, I'm pretty good at this. Thank you for that, Barbara. All right, so I'm getting dad energy around you. Is dad here on the other side? Card flew out. All right. So, Barbara, if you are waiting for news of something, you're going to have news come in very quickly. If you're not waiting for news of something, news is coming about something. There's definitely a message. It could be a spiritual message that you're going to get, maybe from dad if he's passed over, or another male relative maybe passed over. But I feel like something changes for you very quickly because of a communication, almost like an aha moment. Yeah, dad is passed. I pretty much knew that. Yep. So this may come to you in the evening. I don't know if you, cards keep flying out of the deck. So dad is talking to us. Was dad a Leo or a fire sign? I feel like dad's a Leo. I feel like dad's coming in fast and hot with a message for you. Like he comes to you at night in dreams, or even like you sit up in bed and think you heard something. This is actually happening. Do not doubt your intuition. It's nothing to be afraid of. You can say a little prayer if it makes you nervous, but it shouldn't. Dad is coming in. Give me a minute to get this message. I just had a flash of shoes, like shoes under the bed or slippers by the bed. I don't know why, if that was something dad used to do. I'm getting that very strongly. He's saying something about shoes, the bed, under the bed, like you would put slippers or shoes by your bedside. He's showing me that very vividly. So if it doesn't mean anything to you now, it will mean something to you or to a family member if you speak to them about this message. He's telling me something. The message coming through is something about strength, but like he's showing me those shoes like a grounding, like stand in your power, feet firmly planted, step in the shoes, yeah, really strong. Like he's giving you courage for something, really almost like courage and strength about something that you're trying to do or wondering if you should do. I feel like this is coming through loud and clear. Let me see if I get anything else in the cards. If you've recently had a loss of some kind, and I'm not talking about dad being on the other side, I'm talking about like a relationship breaking or a child or a sibling or someone that you have had a falling out with. I feel like dad is coming in telling you, stand strong in your power, Don't allow this burden to be overwhelming for you. It is a burden that you will only carry briefly, and it's for the best. Yeah, this goes this way. Yeah, I know this is heartbreak of some kind. I can feel the loss. I can feel the grief. But Dad is coming in standing strong, like stand in your power, stand strong. You're also in the burden of this, taking on the burden of someone else as well. Almost like this is, your burden, but you're also burdened by someone else's things that aren't all yours. This is coming in really strong. Definitely a feeling of he's with you, like he's behind you, but strength, like so much strength, almost like, I don't even know the words to use because it's just so strong. It's like, it could be the loss of your dad. I'm seeing your comments now. Something about the shoes under the bed, slippers by the bed, dad coming in really, really strong, telling you to stand in your power. I feel like it's a loss in the sense of not a physical loss or not like you lost something. When I say loss, I'm feeling like a conflict or a falling out with another person, like maybe a relationship ending or someone leaving the house that you live with, or a sibling, or someone close to you that there's been a rift, that you're not speaking to them as you used to. That kind of a loss of a relationship of some kind. And I feel like dad is coming in telling you to stand strong in your power. So that's probably, so I see now you're saying you're thinking about a lot of cousins who don't speak. That's what it is, because he's showing me standing in your power, that you have the power to change and be diplomatic, but don't take on the burdens of the others. Like if you're going to get a meeting together or an event together or a dinner or something together, don't take on what is not yours. Stand in your place. But he's telling you to wear the shoes, almost like pull up your bootstraps. Like that's the saying I wanted to say that I couldn't find. He's like, put on the shoes. He's showing me almost like stepping into his shoes, like he was always the one who held a lot of people together. I feel like he was very diplomatic and had a kind way of saying things, but was a man of few words. And I feel like he's almost saying, step in these shoes, you can do it. So yeah, I would reach out to those cousins, because I feel like there's a lot of family there that needs to reconcile. And that's what I mean by loss. It's a loss of that emotion and the feeling and the camaraderie. So in a way, you lost something, but not like a physical thing. You've lost out those times. So yeah, I would definitely take that with you. I'm going to pick a card from the Soul card deck and one other card. Dad is coming in very, very strong. He is showing me that you have things in your home, like physical things in your home, that either came from his house, or there's things that have not been cleared and cleaned out. He's showing me that there are things that he's showing, and it's so funny because when they're on the other side, they don't care about this, but he's showing me for some reason there's things that have not been, like, he's showing me like there's things in the same place, or things that are supposed to go to another place, but they're stuck where they are. So maybe these are things you're supposed to give to someone or to people, and you aren't doing it, or things you haven't been able to clear out yet. But he's showing me that they need to move on. The energy needs to move on. The energy needs to move. Whatever physical objects are kind of stuck in place. Because it feels like the energy needs to move, and that those things are bringing in some darkness almost. Like not darkness to be afraid of, but just darkness that makes you sad. And so he's showing me to allow that energy to move, to bring light into your space. There's things in that space that need to move. He's showing me this. Also, I have to ask you, and I don't know if you'll be able to answer me through comment or whatever, but I'm getting the feeling, I'm seeing your dad in my mind's eye. He's appearing to me wearing a pair of coveralls, like a one-piece coverall, like almost like a mechanic or a worker, almost like like the airline workers on the tarmac, or someone in the Air Force wears that almost like a flight suit, one piece thing like that. Your dad is showing me that. I don't know what he did for a living or if he wore that when he was working on something or what, but I'm seeing him dressed in this one piece, like zip up or snap up, like cover all overall thing like that, like with long sleeves and stuff. So I would love confirmation on that because it's just coming in so clearly to me. All right. So the cards I picked from the soul card deck are about light, and they're also about facing the things that you fear. So if fear is holding you back from reconciling your family, cousins, or if fear is holding you back from moving dad's things to other places and moving the energy, do not allow fear to be sovereign over you. You are sovereign over everything, and I will tell you, you are very divinely guided and very protected with your father's energy. I'm seeing that there are people around you wearing a mask. There are people around you that are not really being authentically who they are. So just be careful of that. It's nothing that can harm you because you have such a sharp intuition, you see right through it. But they're fearful to drop the mask. And sometimes when people are fearful, things will happen that can be unfortunate. So just, stay in your own power. Like your dad says, put those shoes on and stand in his shoes. So dad used to wear a blue coverall when he tried to fix his car. Okay, I get it then. Because he's really showing me that. And I think that's coming through because he wants you to fix it. He wants you to fix it. Now, when I say that, I don't mean that you need to be responsible for other people's behavior, but I think what he's showing us is that you really have the power and the divine gift of diplomacy and love, and he's going to be giving you the love from the other side to really reconcile with your cousins and get that energy going. So I hope that works for you. Was Dad born August? Is he a Leo, or he has Leo somewhere in his chart? Because I feel it strongly. I feel like he's got this very strong countenance, but that he was a quiet person of few words. So just, that's what I'm feeling. Yeah, he was coming through so strong in those coveralls. I'm like, even if she tells me he never wore them, he's wearing them now. So, so take that with you and know that Dad's with you. If you do have a dream or anything that happens in the evening and the night, even when you're napping on the couch in the afternoon, just take it with you that he is just showing you that he's there and that love is everlasting and he wants to say, I love you. And he wants your cousins to know that he loves them as well. And you have the power from the other side to reconcile things. So there you go. And that's your reading, Barbara. Thank you so much for coming into the soul space tonight. I hope that we were able to gift your soul with some beautiful messaging. So want to go back in, and I want to just talk a little bit about readings and about, accessing the other side. And, all people who do that, and I believe we all have the ability to do it. So when people go through a healing crisis and suddenly they say, I'm getting these messages, I never think it's weird. I think that that's what happens to everybody. Because it does, if you let it. So when we access that energy, people ask me all the time, like, how do you do that? How does that happen? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how it happens. And there's different ways in to the energy that all psychics and mediums and people who can do this kind of work do. Some people have guides and they go in through their guides, and some people just have a ritual or a prayer they say, or some people meditate till they feel that vibration. But inevitably what it really is that we are going into the energy of the soul. And so we all have a soul, which is the essence of pure love from our Creator. And the soul stays with us over every lifetime. Your soul is what is always going to be and what has always been you. And so your soul has been you as many different lifetimes, as many different things, and it goes on and never dies. So when the soul energy is there, and it's actually something that is tangible, it is there, it's in the ethers, it's not like the table, but it has a vibratory function. When we go into a pure state of love and we allow ourselves to open to that love of Creator, our soul can link with that soul. Our soul feels the soul. And that's why it's everlasting. Love doesn't die when someone's physical body dies. Love continues on forever through many lifetimes, through many ethers. And that's in many realms. And that's how I can see a person who's no longer in the physical plane here with us. They're in another dimension, but my soul knows those dimensions, and your soul does too. So you can actually talk to anyone who is departed from this earth or from this realm, and we can open portals to all kinds of realms. But there's a certain way that we should be doing it, because don't forget, you can open portals to realms that maybe aren't so loving. So you have to be very careful when you do it. But as long as you are protecting yourself in the full, pure, unconditional love of our Creator, then you have nothing to fear. The other part that is very easy, I think, for people to understand is that if someone loved you here in this place, right, the earth that we know music and we know color and we know beautiful things, right, and we know love here on the earth plane, and we know what love feels like in the earth plane. And we can feel the love of maybe a parent or maybe a sibling or maybe a neighbor or a friend or a partner, a lover, a guru. We feel the love here in the earth plane, and it is a certain vibratory field. But when someone is in a higher plane, when part of their soul is in heaven or with Creator, can you imagine what love feels like? What music sounds like? What colors look like? We can't. It's so unbelievable. We don't even know what joy is that in that realm. We only know joy in this realm. So then it would stand to reason, if someone's love was pretty powerful for us here, and you have felt that, when they go on the other side, can you imagine how powerful their love for us is? So why wouldn't they be able to communicate with us and send us blessings and watch over us? I say they do. And that's my belief, and that's my explanation of how these things work. So that's what I have come to believe, and the way that I have come to believe that is by living it and being so blessed to do it, and being around people who know it to be real. And that just is that only love is real, and everything else is not permanent. So even when we lose someone and they are passed on, and even when we pass on, we may lose the physicality of them. You know, my parents are gone, and I've lost many, many people in my life. And I do grieve the physicality that they're not on this earth with me anymore. But I still feel them. I still know they're loving me. I can still feel my parents' arms around me. And so that's what I live in when I need to have that grief comforted, is that eternal love that will never die. So whether it's Barbara's dad coming through or Lori's mom coming through, that love is there. It's never going to die. It will never go out, ever, ever, through all of eternity. So that's my analogy of how we do this. So, I appreciate all of you too. Thank you so much. And this is the energy I source my life from. So tell everybody about the soul space. Get them to come on board, because we want people to really raise their vibration and be in this beautiful energy. So I'm going to pick 3 cards for all of us, so that we're running out of time for individual readings. So I'm going to pick 3 cards for all of us to see what this week is going to bring. And let's see what we come up with. So Spirit, show us what we're supposed to know this week. Okay, so I've got the Judgment card, which is rebirth. The Judgment card is Archangel Gabriel giving us clear messages and rebirth. This is actually the Judgment card. So for those of you who are learning to read tarot, and by the way, Elaine Risotto is on the show on the comments tonight, and she is a fabulous tarot teacher. When you look at the cards for tarot, you can interpret them literally. I interpret them psychically as well. This is a card, literal meaning is rebirth. It means that you are actually you see Archangel Gabriel and these figures coming out of the grave. So this is a representative of Archangel Gabriel. Clear messages. Gabriel is, like all angels, messenger of God. He brings our requests straight to God. And Archangel Gabriel is the archangel of messages. He told the Virgin Mary she was going to have baby Jesus. So when we see this card, it means that divine message is coming through. With a new moon coming through on Saturday, I would say definitely set your intentions to get messages from other realms, because we can really do it. Then I've got the Page of Wands upside down. The Page of Wands is an action card. Its pages bring us communication. So this, compared with the Judgment card of rebirth and me just feeling Archangel Gabriel coming in to give us messages, this confirms for me messages coming. And when messages come from the Page of Wands, they're usually forward action. As you can see, the page is looking out, like he's looking towards the future in this card. And There's leaves, new growth on this wand. So I'm thinking maybe we're going to get a message about changing something, leaving something behind, and going towards newness, especially with a new moon coming in this week. And this is the Ten of Swords, which looks like a death card of some kind for a lot of people. When I see the Ten of Swords, it's a card of me of finally clearing and putting to rest what no longer serves us. So this week is going to be a week where we're going to get divine messages from Archangel Gabriel and the other messengers, your guides, your spirit, especially if we set intentions for the new moon. And as the month progresses through that moon of Virgo into the full moon in September, we're going to see that we are able to let go and finally put to rest a lot of things that no longer serve us, just like that beautiful Ten of Swords card is showing us now. So really work hard to tune in, awaken, go into your soul spaces and get those beautiful messages that are going to bring you where you need to be. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. If anybody has any messages, you can put them in the comments. And hopefully you'll join me next Monday night, 7 p.m. in the Soul Space. You can watch the replays anywhere. You can catch me at Zenkuda on YouTube. I put up a lot of videos besides the Soul Space podcast, so watch me there. You can also catch me on Zenkuda on Facebook and on Instagram at Zenkuda Official. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next week at 7 o'clock. Bye-bye.